got tomorrow. We're the pages in the wind. We've got tomorrow. We're the tale that lies within. There's always another day, another night, a bittersweet blessing in disguise. Tomorrow.
What our movement is about, especially with this album, is kind of realizing who you are and not being afraid to hide your flaws from everybody. And when you're growing up, you kind of realize that there's this pressure put on you, whether it be at school, from your peers, maybe by adults, maybe your parents that raised you, to act a certain way, to be a certain way. And when you realize that you can let it all go, and you can just actually live in the moment, you can actually be yourself, you can actually not, can I cuss? When you cannot give a fuck what anyone thinks about you, then you actually feel free. And I see that as a movement, because not everyone feels comfortable doing that. Not everyone feels comfortable in their own shoes. And that's what we encourage people to do. When they come to a show, when they come to a Set It Off show, you're able to let go. You're able to stop thinking about your problems. You're able to, be encouraged, hopefully by us, to start being exactly who you are. And that's the movement we're talking about.
With the new record coming out, it's scary to, admit to certain things. But every now and then, a fan has come up and said, hey, I've always wanted to do this, or I've always been hiding this or that. And they were able to share it with us, and not only us, but their family, their friends, and everyone in their lives. And the fact that we were able, to help them, give them the confidence to truly be themselves, was huge. So yeah, absolutely, we have definitely seen people come forward.
We have a video for our song Tomorrow, which was a tribute to our dream catchers, which is what we call our fan base. And at the end it says, tomorrow I will this, tomorrow I will do this. Won't forget my self-doubt. I will be more confident. I will chase my dreams. I will be successful. And that's the sort of duality that we want to see, is because they're starting to realize who they are as they're growing, they realize they can accomplish these goals. Ooh, I'd say my stubbornness. I'm a very stubborn person, but that also helped me, fight for what I want in the music industry, and I think it's helped us get to where we are today. Stubbornness is probably the biggest pro and con flaw that I have.
Good, a flaw. I don't know. Whew. In a weird way, I guess it would be a sense of revenge. There are a lot of people who either said that I wouldn't be able to do things, or band drama in the past with other bands, things like that, and being able to go, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to make you feel bad by how good I'm doing, you know? So it ended up turning it into a positive thing, but at first it felt very, very negative.
Yeah. Honestly, with how it's really catching on, I had no idea. Like, we made the diamond, and then the hand symbol kind of just came in with it because we figured out how to make it with our hands, and we put it in one video, and now every time we come out onto the stage, it's already up. Fans, no one in the band is making them do it. They're just already doing it, which is a great sign that people see it as a symbol of unity. Like this is, like we say, show us your true duality. And I feel like that's their way of saying, listen, I've accepted this principle and I'm going to be that. And so then when I throw it up and I see the rest of the crowd do it, it's just, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, really. And I like that feeling. I like that feeling of purpose behind it. And so, yeah, I think it's going to stick around. I do.
I don't think it's up to us. I think it's up to them, honestly.
Yeah, it's a really good answer. Very, very true. What?
Wow.
That's so cool. That's so neat. I love that. That's sweet. That's tough.
Ooh, I would say, we have a song called, it's Dreamcatcher and Tomorrow, 2 songs basically about following your dreams and not giving up. And it's a lot easier said than done. And being in a band is very scary. It comes with a lot of, you get a lot of flack for it. People always say you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm really proud of not only me, but everyone in the band for committing to it and saying, this is what I want to do. I'm not going to let anyone else change my mind. And for anyone who's in a band and who's doing anything that other people told them not to do. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, I think mine goes along those lines. I was in college and I was studying clarinet for 11 years. And everyone in my family wanted me to be this classical clarinetist, and I felt like I was almost being depended on to become a successful clarinetist by my family. And I had an experience over in the States that clicked with me that I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing what I love the most, which is, being in a band. I think I'm most proud of myself for going against 11 years of experience in one field and just saying, I'm going to drop it all and do this instead, because I know that in the end game, I'll be more happy. And luckily, my family turned around and was like, if you really want this, then my mom has my back. She's like our biggest fan, or my biggest fan. And everyone else in the band, like you said, did the same sort of thing. It is scary, but once you take that leap of faith, starting something from absolutely nothing to what we've created today, it's a really proud moment. Well, because of what we just mentioned, I think, we gave everything up, We had, if we went by the general standard of what the American dream is, graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, get a job, 9 to 5, get a house, have a family, and then you die. I mean, if we did that, then yeah, we would say we've done something, and nothing against anyone that does that. If that's what you wanted to do that. But if I can say that with my life, I had this whole thing planned out for me. I dropped out of college. I started the thing that I wanted to do from nothing with my best friends, and then got to a point where our music and our message got reached to every ear on the world. I would be absolutely ecstatic, and I think that's what success is driven by. It's not so much, I want to live comfortably, I want to have a house, and I want my career to fuel that. But what's most important to me is I want everyone to hear us. I don't want to just be known in a specific area. And I think if you word it as bigger than My Chem, who still there's people in the world who have never heard of My Chem, which sounds insane, but there are, or Beatles probably not, but just being on that level, and it's honestly a dream. I've always wanted to play like award shows and stuff like that, and I could see us doing that in the future, and I intend to see that through.
Yeah, we're very much a band that doesn't want to set a ceiling for ourselves, and it would be like if you were in. You're playing a sport, you're playing football, and you say, I don't really want to go to the World Cup. I don't want to be the best. Yeah. Things like that it seems silly, So why, if we were to do it, why wouldn't we try to be the very, very best that we could?
It's like that boxer mentality.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Ali, I'm the greatest. You want to be the greatest. Oh, yes.
I don't think anyone's perfect.
I don't think any band has been perfect. Every band, there's so many times that you'll see bands in videos or just antic videos, them just hanging out, and you're like, oh, they never fight. Not true. Mm-hmm. Everyone has their issues with each other. I mean, the one thing I'm very proud about, set it off though, is we've seen bands who I will not name that have really dysfunctional relationships with each other. With us, with Set It Off, what I'm really happy about is we are able to, if we'll have a problem or one of the guys will piss one of us off, and we'll go to them and be like, hey man, I don't appreciate that you did this, and we'll just literally have a rational conversation with them and back and forth, and then it's done within minutes. So that's going to keep us alive for a while, and I know that. Yeah. But I don't think perfection is necessary for anything to get accomplished. I think it's work ethic.
It's not actually possible. I mean, anyone who's ever tried to reach perfection ended up as a band, either broken up or as a person gone insane.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's trying to be the best that you can be, and working with others and finding that connection.
I don't think there's anything wrong with striving for perfection. I think that sort of mentality will help you reach as close as you can, but don't rely on it. Yeah. Towards the end of his life, yeah, I do. I think that he's a very eccentric person, and I mean the lifestyle that he was raised in. I mean, I feel like that would drive anyone to kind of maybe appear different mentally than other people. I don't think he was insane. I don't think I mean, I don't have any evidence myself for the cases or the allegations that were against him, but I'm more concerned with his genius as a performer and as a musician. And he brought something to the table that no one was bringing, even just down to the way he dressed. He was a god. He was unbelievable. So I admire him very much for everything he did, and he is now definitely one of our biggest influences musically. Oh, wow.
I mean, again, I don't know. I wasn't there. You know, I don't know his life, but I know that from a very young age, he always had an enormous. Congrats for you. He always had an enormous amount of pressure on him. You know, when he was with the Jackson 5, he was just a kid, and he was the lead singer of this group that was, you know, taken over. And if he wasn't doing his best every single night, then I'm sure that, you know, he would get reprimanded for it. And so at no point in his life was he able to just relax. It was just a constant work and work, and I think that's what made him so talented. But in the end, I think it's what destroyed him. So I guess I would say take a vacation, you know, like relax and don't let the the doubters or the people who are saying bad things get to you, because again, at the end of his life, people were saying some very, very terrible. Again, I don't know about the allegations or things, but people were saying some very terrible things about him, and I think it ended up being his undoing.
Learned so much about writing and how fun putting together an album can be, honestly. Like, so many times you get nervous when you're going to work with like a bigger producer, that they're going to just yell at you and say you're shit and you can't play. And not that we ever like think like, oh, we're definitely going to get told that, but it's just, you know, it's in the back of your head. You want to be the best you can be. The cool thing about this is we get to write with just actual friends. Like, I was already friends with these guys before, and I had no idea like what they were capable of until we were really in the studio. But I learned a lot about writing from each and every one of them. I learned a lot about putting horns together from Matt and how to write even cooler horn lines. I learned how to write in a calm mentality from Tommy. Tommy's a very laid back kind of guy, but I also know how to write in a very energetic mentality through Brandon, and Brandon's he's like ready to go, you know, like I love it. So it was 3 completely different people, all very talented and know how to get the job done. All have worked with John Feldman, who we were going to work with. So they all got to the same end result, but through different ways. And so being able to experience each individual in that light, you kind of take something from that you can we can now use when we move forward for the next record. Who? Nando's.
Tomorrow or
No, I'm gonna go figuratively.
Yeah. I love Nando.
Let's see. I know, right? Now I want Nando's. Geez, it's when you have as many goals as we do, it's hard to pick one, you know, or to just generalize it. But I guess tomorrow we will be the best version of ourselves we can possibly be. Like, that's all I can really ask of myself or anyone, is just be the best version of yourself that you can be. And hopefully that'll take us to a level that will get us that success we crave so badly.